still hear the screams when the wind cuts through the pines. Every gust sounds like tires skidding on dirt, metal twisting, boys shouting through the smoke. Coyote Hollow never forgot what we did that night, and neither did the thing that lives there. Coyote Hollow, Gugwee's Revenge. We were 17, dumb as hell, and full of cheap beer and bad ideas. I can still see the four of us crammed in that busted silver Civic. Jake, the driver, nervous, trying to act cool. Riley, riding shotgun, always the loud one, red hoodie, loud laugh. Marcus behind Jake, quiet but always game for whatever. And me in the back, left window seat, thinking we were untouchable. We'd scored a little weed from a guy at the gas station and decided to drive out to Coyote Hollow, the kind of dirt road folks warned us about in half-whispered stories. No lights, no houses, just trees that leaned too close, and a smell in the air like iron and rain. Jake cranked up the music, bass rattling the cheap speakers. Beer cans rolled at our feet. We laughed, coughed, and passed the joint. When we hit the long downhill stretch, Riley leaned out the window yelling at the trees. "Coyote Hollow, baby!" he screamed, flipping off the darkness. I remember shouting for him to get back in, half joking, half serious. And then it happened. Something snatched him. Not like a stumble or fall. Not like he hit a branch. He was gone. 1 second he was laughing. The next, his legs were yanked backward into the dark. The car fishtailed. Jake screamed and slammed the brakes. We slid sideways in a cloud of dust. Then the sound hit. A wet, metallic thump, like something heavy landing on the trunk. The rear windshield cracked, and blood splattered across it in long streaks. "What the?" Marcus shouted, grabbing the back of Jake's seat. I twisted around, just in time to see a hand. No, not a hand. Something longer, clawed, gripping the rear bumper. Pale gray skin, slick like it had been in the river too long. "Drive! Drive!" I screamed. Jake floored it. The tires spun, dirt flying. The thing slid off, but as we sped forward, I caught sight of it in the brake light glow. 7 feet tall, hunched, shoulders wide as the car, its face buried in shadow, but its eyes, amber and hateful, caught the light for a split second. It wasn't a man. We tore down that dirt road like demons were chasing us, because one was. The thing kept up, bounding between trees, cutting across the road. Every few seconds, we'd catch a glimpse, a flash of gray, a snarl, something hitting the side of the car. The hood dented inward once, like something landed on it. Marcus started crying. Jake couldn't even talk. We just kept going. When we hit the paved road, it stopped. We didn't slow down until the tank was nearly empty. Riley's seat was soaked. Blood sprayed across the door, the roof, even the front console. We told the cops we were drinking, that Riley fell out. They searched for weeks. Found his shoe, torn. Found his phone in the ditch. But no body. Coyote Hollow swallowed him whole. I left town right after graduation and enlisted. I figured war would drown the nightmares. It didn't. Years later, I came back different, harder, sharper. But the dreams stayed. Riley hanging halfway out the window, the claws, that face. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw those amber eyes staring through the glass. So I did what every broken soldier does. I gave the monster a name, and I went hunting. I started asking questions around town. The old men at the gas station didn't laugh this time. Gugwee, one said. Old Algonquin name. Means the mimic ape, the eater of pride. He told me it lives where the creeks twist and the ground never dries. He said it remembers faces. I already knew that. I called up 3 old buddies from my unit, Vance, Holloway, and Cruz. We'd seen hell together overseas. They didn't believe in monsters, but they believed in me. 3 days, I told them. We sweep the hollow, track whatever's in there, and end it. They brought the gear, M4s, night vision, thermal scope, shortwave comms, a drone, and enough ammo to start a small war. We parked at the edge of Coyote Hollow just after sunset. The air was still. The same smell, rust and rot, hung in the air. I stared down that dirt road and felt my pulse climb. We moved in formation, boots sinking into soft mud. The woods felt heavier than before, like the trees were leaning in to listen. Vance flew the drone ahead, thermal feed on the tablet. The screen flickered with cold shapes. Raccoons, maybe a deer. Nothing big. Then a sudden spike. A massive heat signature flashed for half a second and vanished. Glitch? Cruz muttered. Negative, I said. It's here. We set perimeter lights near an old culvert, built a small base of operations. Motion sensors around camp, trip lines with flares. The night dragged slow. Owls, crickets, the hum of the generator. Then around 2 a.m., one of the motion sensors tripped. The light flickered red. We froze. Cruz swung the thermal around. Nothing. Just empty trees. Then came the sound. Soft breathing. Deep. Slow. Wet. Like something dragging air through blood. Contact rear, Vance whispered. We turned, and the world exploded. The flare lit up the night, revealing the Gugwee, standing 20 feet away, half-shadowed in smoke. Its chest was broad and scarred, fur matted with old blood. Its arms reached nearly to the ground, claws like knives. It charged. Vance opened fire, M4 rattling. Sparks flew off bark and bone. The creature barely slowed. It hit him so hard his rifle snapped in half. Holloway screamed and emptied a mag into its side. It roared, a deep, inhuman sound that rattled the ground. Then it grabbed him, one hand around his head, and snapped his neck like a twig. I fired controlled bursts into its chest. Nothing. It swung its arm and caught Cruz across the ribs, sending him into a tree with a wet crack. "Fall back!" I shouted. We ran toward the culvert. I could hear it moving behind us. Fast, deliberate, not stumbling. It was hunting. Vance, bleeding, tried to launch a grenade. The thing tackled him before he could pull the pin. The explosion tore through the brush, lighting everything orange. When the smoke cleared, there was nothing left but pieces. I don't remember how long I ran. My rifle jammed from the mud, my radio dead. When I stopped, I realized I'd come full circle. The dirt road. The same one from that night years ago. The car was still there, or what was left of it. Half buried in vines, rusted to nothing but frame and memory. That's when I heard it. The slow crunch of footsteps behind me. I turned, flashlight shaking in my hand. The Gugwee stood there. Closer now. Its head cocked slightly, like it recognized me. It wasn't just a beast. There was something in its eyes. Memory. "Come on, you son of a bitch," I whispered. It charged. I dropped the light, drew my combat knife, and fired one last burst as it closed the gap. The bullets hit, tearing flesh, but it didn't stop. It slammed into me, claws raking across my chest. Pain burned through every nerve. We rolled in the dirt, blood and breath and hate. I stabbed again and again. The blade sank deep, but it kept moving. Its claws tore my thigh open. Another slash caught my arm. I reached for the flare on my vest and lit it. The sudden light made it hiss and recoil, smoke rolling off its fur. I jammed the flare into its face. It screamed, a horrible human-like sound, and vanished into the dark, leaving a trail of burning blood. I crawled toward the road, vision blurring, half my body on fire from pain. Every breath tasted like copper. Behind me, the woods went silent again. No wind, no crickets, just that damn smell. I don't know how I made it out. I woke up in a ditch near sunrise, covered in dried blood, half my leg torn open. A farmer found me and called 911. They said I was hallucinating from blood loss. Said my friends must have turned on each other. Said there's no such thing as monsters. But I know what I saw. I saw it remember me. Sometimes, when the night's still, I swear I hear claws scratching under the floorboards of my house. And sometimes, when I dream, I see those amber eyes, watching from the tree line. Coyote Hollow's still out there, and so is the Gugwee, waiting.
And that's tonight's encounter. If you made it this far, you're officially part of the hunt. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss the next story. Until then, keep your eyes open and your flashlight charged.